Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm gonna give you another project progress. And this one is one of your favorite series, and it's one of my favorite series because it helps me to rotate my collection. So if you want to see the products that I chose for the past month, a little bit over a month, and the products that I chose for this upcoming month, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my past project progress, and the first thing is my foundation. It was the Kevyn Aucoin Etherealist foundation. My empties video is probably up already. I didn't think I needed to keep the bottle. You guys are gonna see it empty over there. So I finished the Etherealist foundation. It was good. I know I will miss it, but I know it wasn't as long lasting, and I have tons of foundations to go through before wanting to repurchase or being allowed to repurchase any other foundations. So that's gone, and the other foundation that was on my project progress was my L'Oreal 102 Infallible Pro Matte, and this one I've been using it a ton. I just mix it with other shades to make them lighter. Then for bronzers, I wrote down here the Chanel bronzer, and this is a good one because I took it with me to Spain, so it was the only bronzer that I took, and I used it every day. Of course, I used it for 17 days straight, and I have used it since I arrived, so it's just a bronzer that I showed a lot of love to. It's one of the bronzers that I want to finish this year, or I need to work on finishing. Even if I finish it next year, I want to keep working on finishing it up because it was super pricey and it was just sleeping in my collection, and I didn't want to just sell it or declutter it because I actually like it. It's just that I didn't want to ruin the rose that was engraved in the powder, and that's just stupid. I also put in there the Becca Buttercup powder, and this one, it doesn't show that much use, but I actually used it, and it looks like a face powder, but on me it looks like a bronzer. So I'm gonna keep using it. It's the one that I've been using to contour my nose, and this is gonna roll up to the next project progress. So the one that I'm gonna announce, this is gonna be in there. So the third bronzer, and this one I used a ton as well. This is the Caramel Bronzer by No. 7, and you can see the rings of the product. You can see it. So this is about to die. This bronzer I'm gonna keep as well on this project to see if I can finish it up. So those are two bronzers that are rolling over to this project progress. And then I have one fail, and it's the NARS Seaside Bronzer. This one I didn't use. I think I used it once when I first started the project, and then I just didn't use it anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on finish the No. 7 first. Then this one, I'm gonna be using them both at the same time, but I know this one will go quicker because it's been more used than abused. And that way I will rotate my bronzers and keep one steady until I finish it. So this one, his time will come. I will finish it eventually. I love bronzers, and bronzers are one of those products that I go through a ton. I truly use them every day, and whether I wear blush or not, or highlighter or not, I always wear bronzer. Whether I wear eyeshadow, if I don't wear eyeshadow, I wear my bronzer as my eyeshadow. So it's a product that I can go through pretty quickly. For blushes, I have the Bloom palette by Natasha Denona on this project that I just did, and I use this a ton. You can see right here that the pattern of the ND is basically gone, and I use this blush a ton as well. This is a beautiful blush. This was basically the only blush that I took with me to Spain, so it was my everyday blush while I was there. And then these highlighters as well, you can see that the pattern here has been rubbed off, and I also use this one. It even has brush hairs in it, and I'm in love with this palette. This was just an amazing purchase, and I know I will keep pulling it up. You guys, if you have been hesitant to try this, just go swatch it in store. That made up my mind for me. So yeah, this is a beautiful palette, and I couldn't be happier with it. My other palette for this project was this one, and this is my NARS palette. I have a video on it, the colors that I have in there, and or how I depot my blushes. I don't know if I showed all of these in there, but I just love this palette. I think I reheat pan on luster, I'm about to finish Orgasm. I have been using it a ton. I've been using Madly a ton. That's my favorite blush of all time. This is just a lovely palette, and I have been using it on my kit a lot, and I will keep using it on my kit. And I'm happy that I get to have all these shades in just one palette for my makeup artistry kit. It's just amazing. It's a good way to get some use out of these expensive and beautiful blushes. For highlighter, I have the ones in the Bloom palette by Natasha Denona, and those I used for my entire trip because those were basically the only highlighters that I had on my trip. But then when I came back and before I left, I was using this one. This is the Prismatic Amethyst by Becca. And I have to say, I love this highlighter, the way it looks on the skin, but the shade is just not my thing for every day. So I used it about 4 to 5 times, and that's enough for me to not consider it a fail on my project. But I know I will never ever again purchase a colored highlighter. A colored, I mean like a bright color highlighter like purple, blue, pink. I don't do that unless the pink is sort of a gold, rose gold, or champagne pink, something like that I'm good with, but not a blue, purple, green highlighter. That's not my style at all. And then the other one that I had here, and I'm happy to report, and you will see this soon in another video, it's that I heat pan. I don't know if you can see it right there, but you can see the grit, and the grit is coming through, so I basically heat pan on this highlighter, and I love it. It's one of my favorite highlighters in my collection, and I've been using it so much, so much. For me, it would be awesome if I get to finish this one eventually, because I have finished highlighters. I think about 2 highlighters in my lifetime. I don't know, but it's hard to finish a highlighter. And the ones that I finished have been basically a small size, and I've hit pan in other highlighters, but I think I've never gone through a full size highlighter completely. So yeah, this can be my first, and it's just stunning. For palettes, I have here my Cranberry palette. And this one, as well as the other 2 Natasha Denona palettes that I had in this project, I took with me to Spain. I just wanted to have choices, and this is just one of the most beautiful palettes I have in my collection. You guys will see a declutter because I sold a few eyeshadow palettes, and I'm so happy that I did because I'm all into Natasha Denona and Anastasia all the time with my eyeshadows. So I don't think it's fair to keep adding to my collection stuff that I will not use, or keep in my collection stuff that I will not use. So I've been just trying to be good and sell what I don't use or just pass it on. So this is an amazing purchase, and now they made it permanent. So it's in the permanent range. This was a holiday palette, and it basically had these golden, rustic gold packaging, and now it comes with a white packaging like the rest of the 5 brand palettes from Natasha Denona. Next, I have here the Riviera palette, and this one, I have to say, I have to give you guys a review because you guys know that I love ABH shadows. This is the shadow that I have for my transition, and the dark brown that I have in my outer corner. But this palette, I don't know yet, guys. I just don't know yet. I will film a review. I'm underwhelmed with it, just so you guys know. So far, I'm just not feeling it. The other 2 palettes are the Natasha Denona Viva palette and the Natasha Denona Safari palette. This was a good combo. I'm in love with the Viva palette. I just think it's one of the best palettes I've ever tried. It's one of the best palettes I've had in my collection because it's sort of like the Naked Basics or the Lorac Pro 1, the best shades of the Lorac Pro 1. It's everything you want for an everyday palette with the best formula that you could ever have it in. So that's what the Viva palette means to me. And this black, I can't stop talking about it. Spot, it's the best black I've ever tried. And then this color Rustic, I'm in love. Prairie, it's amazing. Cocoa is insane. Freckle is an everyday transition shade. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I think this is a must-have palette for anyone that loves makeup. If you love makeup, and whether you do the more classical looks or even if you do colorful looks, you always need transition shades. You always need simple colors to mix, to darken, to lighten, or to just be a companion to a colorful palette. And this is it. This is basically it. I can't wait to see what she has in store for us because her eyeshadows are so good. I'm thinking about doing a Natasha Denona week. Natasha Denona has a lot to offer, and I love her. I know the Viva palette is the first Natasha Denona palette that I'm gonna hit pan on for sure. Then I have here the Natasha Denona Safari palette. And every time I see this color scheme, it reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Subculture palette. And I love the formula of this one as well. I just wasn't playing with it because it was all matte. I'm in love with Lotus, which is this pink right here. I use it a ton, and I used it a ton on my trip. I'm in love with Shea, with Tamarind, with Thorn, Desert Date. It's beautiful. Then I also love Aya and Malia. Savannah is amazing. The color scheme of this palette, it's insane. And I love that they are matte. And you can accompany them with any shimmery palette that you have, and it will play nicely. They blend beautifully. Natasha Denona has a learning curve to the way that you get to use her eyeshadows, but the end result is so beautiful that you will not be disappointed. I wish that she keeps coming up with 15 pan palettes the shape or the size as the Sunrise palette, because that would be more affordable. And the last product that I have here is NARS Flesh Soft Velvet Matte Powder, and I depotted a little bit more than half of it, and I'm gonna give it to my sister-in-law, and the rest I'm gonna finish. I just don't see the point in making myself going through the entire thing when I hate the way it looks on my skin, but I can make it work for a few things, or just to lighten stuff up, or just to set my lid and stuff. So I will use it. It's just that I don't love it, and I really need to finish it. And I've been good at finishing powder. That one is just something that I sort of hate. I hate it. So yeah, you guys will see these on my empty soon, because I will make sure that I finish it completely. And I know my sister-in-law Daniela, she will finish it in about 2 weeks, because she uses so much powder on her face. It's crazy. I even tell her not to, but to each their own. Okay, so for this new project, for eyeshadow palettes, I have 5 eyeshadow palettes. I know it's a ton, but I need to really start using them more and just playing with them more. And since it's summer and I'm thinking about doing colorful looks, not that I'm a colorful person at all, I need to pull out a few of my palettes. And what I did, just so you guys know, because I never filmed a review on the Lemonade palette, I actually have 2. I have one that was the first one she released, that the pink shades got a little bit crusty, and then I got the second one as a replacement from the brand. A few of the shades, like Lemon Soda, Nude Tea, and Peach, were better in the other palette. So what I did yesterday, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna declutter that palette. I'm gonna see if I can sell it. If not, I will give it to my sister-in-law. And I switched it up. So the colors that I loved on the other one better than the new one, I put them on this palette. So this is the best of both worlds, because the pink in here, they work amazingly, and then the rest of the shades are the same as the other palette, and then 3 shades were better on the last one than on this one. So I switched them up, but I prefer the formula of Lemon Soda in the old packaging. It was a good decision, because now I will use this one more. I just have to say, this palette, the only thing that kills it for me is that I wish it had sort of a latte shade from the first palette, sort of a better transition shade that's brownie. I would use this palette a ton more. So that's why I added other palettes that can just complement that. One of them is the Just Peachy Mattes, and it's this one right here, and I get all the transitions that I want on this palette. The scent, it was stronger before, now it's perfect. And this one comes with a lot of matte shades that can help me blend or do simple looks, or just deepen up other looks, or it's just a basic palette that can look less than basic if you want to do a reddish smoky eye or a coral smoky eye. But it also has these colors like the lighter shades right here and these ones right here that are all transitions. It's beautiful, and it's beautiful for summer as well. Then this one, since I've been using it on my clients lately, I wanted to pull it back out and use it. I have a 3-in-1 tutorial with this palette, and I'm gonna leave it someplace on the screen. This is beautiful. This is the best Huda Beauty palette I have tried, because the first one I didn't get to try, and then she re-released it, and then she did the Desert Dusk one, and I don't love it. I just don't. And this formula, it's insane. To be exact, this pearlized formula, it's crazy beautiful. And for bridal, it's just like nothing. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's up there with Natasha Denona. I'm talking about the pearlized formula. It's so stunning on the lids. Then this one, this was a gift from my friend Jamie. I don't like the way this palette is built. This is the Alamar Cosmetics palette, and I know that the pigmentation is insane. I know that the colors are beautiful. They're beautiful. But I just don't use it because this palette is not clear to me. It's not. I could do like this as a transition and then all over this color, or just the entire lid brown and this is a pop of color and stuff, but it's missing a few shades. It doesn't really call my name that much. So that's why I haven't used it, and I want to use it now that it's summer. And I know the formula of this one is beautiful because I have used it before, and the blue and the green are insanely pigmented. Since I'm waiting for my Sunrise palette from Natasha Denona and I have to start doing my project progress, I decided to add my Sunrise palette. When you do an investment like this palettes from Natasha Denona, you need to use them. You can't just be shy about using them. You have to use them a lot of times just to get your money's worth. I would love to hit pan on every single Natasha Denona shadow that I have. So this is gonna be a palette that I know I will adore for this project. I already did yesterday a yellow look, and I'm in love with doing a yellow shadow look, and I can complement that beautifully with the Lemonade palette that has those beautiful yellows as well. These palettes can talk to each other, and then if I want sort of a pinky style, I will go in with the nudes, and I can put a little bit of other colors to the nudes with this one. Everything is talking to everything on this project, and I'm happy for that because that will make me use other products that I love that are not Natasha Denona because I've been so into her. For blushes, I'm adding this one. This is Laura Geller Sun Swept blush, and the veining on this blush is stunning. Sorry for my nails. This color is just beautiful, and on the cheeks it looks even prettier, so I need to use that one. It's sort of a bronzy shade. It's perfection. And then the other only thing that I'm gonna use is the Cheekleader's Bronze Squad palette. And these, if you haven't seen my haul, I don't know if I already posted it when I post this video. This one was sent to me by Benefit Colombia. And this has two blushes. The first one is called Rush, and then I have Coralista here. So this one is just a little bit different from both of them, and I can use them and get a different look for the other looks that I will get to do. I'm gonna show you right away. This is a highlighter that will be on my project, and these two bronzers, Hula and Hula Caramel as well. I'm hoping not to use them as much. I can't promise that because I wanna use the other two bronzers that are rolling over from my past project progress. So those will be all my bronzers. My highlighter will be this one, and I will add these three other highlighters. So this palette is gonna go into my project progress to try it more and give you a better review. And then this palette, it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite highlighting palettes that I own. And this is the Bank the Sable palette by NARS. It has a darker highlighter, a medium tone highlighter, and a lighter one, and I adore it. I love it. I have a picture that every time I see it, I just think about this palette because it made the entire look 10 times better than it actually did. For powder, I will be trying to use up the Bye Bye Pores Illumination, and I'm hoping to finish as well the NARS one that I just showed you. But this is brand new, and this is basically a deluxe size sample that my mom gave to me, so I'm hoping I can finish it in about 2 weeks or 1 week. And for foundations, I'm passing over my L'Oreal foundation, the 102, and then my NARS Stromboli, and this one is sort of like right here, and I'm gonna be mixing those two and using it every day and see if I can finish it to remove another foundation from my collection. So that's it for my project progress this month. Everything was a success except for the NARS Seaside bronzer, but I don't mind because bronzer is the product that I go through the most, so I know I will finish that up eventually. Let me know in the comments below which products have you chosen for your Shop Your Stash or project progress of the month or makeup monthly, however you want to call it. Leave a little emoji below, yeah, a beach umbrella or some coconuts or stuff. I want all summery emojis every time I'm doing a summer video, and these products are all speaking to me from a summer kind of heart. That's it for this video, you guys. I hope you subscribe, enjoy, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.